practices also we should not forget. Practices. That's when we're talking about explaining the internal controls. Again, we should not forget that they ensure efficient and effectiveness. Ensure efficiency, effectiveness, safeguarding, effectiveness of operations, its processes, safeguarding of assets. Guarding of assets, prevention and detection of fraud, errors, they are just written in short. Also, compliance, to laws and regulation. So, this is what we mean when we're talking about internal control. It's very important. That is, you as auditor, there's no way you can skip internal control in importance. So we were saying, what are they? You can write about that. Imagine the time we have only a maximum. So when we are talking about that, it means you are talking about the importance. Those are what we have written there. It's everything in it. Yes. Yes. Then important, you just pick them and expand them to say, when I'm talking about safeguarding of assets, you talk about that. Okay? It helps to protect an organization's assets. Okay? Including cash, inventory, equipment, and so many things that you can talk about. Then if you talk about prevention, you explain all those. It means, as I've written, you have written the explanation as well as the importance of internal controls. I hope I'm clear. Yvonne, is it fine? Good, good. So that's the fourth question. And then we come to the fifth question that we were talking about working papers in audit and assurance. Working paper. Working paper. As I've already said, this class did very well, but others could not explain. I don't know why. At the portal, explanation is there. but I don't know why they didn't do very well. But all in all, as we have revisited, next time when the question comes, I hope it's going to be a very good answering system. So we're saying working papers in audit assurance refer to the documentation and records that auditors prepare and maintain during the audit process. These working papers serve several important purposes. It's an evidence of compliance, is it? Yes. It's an evidence of compliance that you did the work yourself. You followed what you are supposed to do in connection of the rules and regulations you being an auditor. Okay. The other one is the support the auditor in his findings. Mind you, when you are doing the audit, you always go back to the other people's working papers, is it? For you to go ahead with what you are doing. So it is also acts as the support to our audit findings. The other one can be facilitate the review. Working papers are essential for the review and supervision of audit work. Senior auditors, managers, as well as the partners can review this documentation through that to see that we have done effective work. So it acts on facilitation of review. So one of the things that we can talk about when we are talking about working papers. It's also a documentation of risk assessment. Yes, you go through and say, oh, my friend found that this was the problem. Let me go and check whether they have done the work that they were taught by my fellow auditors previously. It's also a record of a client's information. Working papers contain information about the audited entity, including its financial statements, accounting, policies, internal controls, and also relevant details which are there. So we're saying that it's also a record of client information. Again, it's a basis of reporting. Yes. You don't just start working on something without, you cannot start auditing without basing on the working papers that were done previously. The other thing is a legal protection. It's a legal protection. Because when we're talking about working papers, you cannot say, no, we don't do that. You are supposed to show evidence. Yes. They audited. This is the evidence that they had audited us, and they need to see a basis for protection. For legal protection. So these are just some of the points to be written on the paper. Then we go to the last one, which is the The last one was the sixth one because I had given you one for free to say, you should not say they have written that we should write all of them, but one should be left. So, but you can't understand. Other people could just write the two questions. So you say, it's difficult, even though you can say, but how can you assist somebody like that? It's very, very bad. So we are saying the last question is in auditor's professionalism, completing of an audit engagement is one of the essential parts to the stakeholders audit, and all who want to audit report discuss. If we can go back to the first thing that we're talking about, the reports and audit assurance, you have to combine those and then you make an answer. It's very easy. But I don't know. I put it in my I don't know. So sometimes I tend to ask myself to say, but when I'm explaining, they don't understand maybe. And not only that, because despite we are in class, you're supposed to go and research more about the points you have written in class or have learned in class. That's the university. So I am surprised to say, but other people cannot even do something that is very important. I don't know. Maybe you have other priorities than school. But why? So please, let's be very, very particular in what we are writing. Let us research more about that. So it is essential to complete an audit engagement. It's a verification of the audit objectives. It's the verification of the audit objectives. We do the engagement just to verify the audit objectives. Again, gathering sufficient and appropriate evidence. We want the sufficient and appropriate evidence when we are doing the engagement. Again, compliance with audit standards. Compliance with audit standards. The other one is for documentation. You have to have a documentation. For independence and objectivity. Also for quality control. Again, communication of the findings. Important because we are supposed to communicate the findings. It's a legal and a regulatory requirement. We are supposed to do it, whether we like it or not. So, when we are talking about the exam, those are some of the points that we would have written when we were writing our examination. Any questions on the exam? Any questions on the exam? Labda unaenda 4, bag 423, mama 420. Is it? Is this your paper? You? Then this is what? This is the Matthews 122. 122. Do you want to start? 122. No, you did very well, all of you, and keep it up. But your time did not work very well. Okay. So, with this small time that we are remaining with, we just have to go to a short topic that we should continue with our. We have talked about the assurance as the audit and assurance officers. We are supposed to know the importance of assurance. We have written. I don't know if what topic it has been. Audit and assurance. We just have to continue a bit on explaining more about the assurance engagement. Assurance engagement. We just want to sum up with that. Assurance services. So some of the information we have already done, we have already learned or have revised when we were doing the revision of the explanation. So we're saying assurance engagement relates to a much broader set of potential engagements. Assurance engagement relates to a much broader set of potential engagements that may be financial or non-financial. Relates to a much broader set of potential engagements. Relates to a much broader set of potential engagements that may be financial or non-financial. So the level of assurance provided can vary according to a particular engagement that you are involved in. So when we're talking about the audit standards, defines an assurance engagement as an engagement in which an assurance practitioner expresses a conclusion designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended user other than the responsible party about the outcome of the evaluation. So let me write that one. It's in the audit standard. Assurance engagement. There, we are talking about the explanation itself is talking about expressing a conclusion. Expressing a conclusion which is designed to enhance the degree of confidence to the intended user. Intended user. So that's how it's expressed by the audit standards. The international framework expresses the assurance engagement as the one in which professional accountant evaluates subject matter. Maybe I just have to give you the presentation if you have the flash. Responsible to a party using identified. I'll give you the presentation, okay? So that's just on assurance because we have two different meanings from different books. Importance of assurance, you have already said, you have already written importance of assurance, where we were talking about providing an independent professional verification that you have already written. You remember? Yes. Good. So, what is a reasonable assurance engagement? That's where we are just going to look into a reasonable assurance engagement. When we're talking about a reasonable insurance engagement, we are talking an assurance engagement that involves one, understanding of the underlying subject matter. Underlining of the subject matter. And the other engagement circumstances. Other engagement circumstances with identifying and assessing the risk. Of material misstatement. The other one is designing and performing procedures. Designing and performing procedures. Designing and performing procedures to respond to the assessed risks. designing and performing procedures to respond to the assessed risks. The other one is evaluating the sufficiency and appropriateness of the evidence. Evaluating the sufficiency and appropriateness of the evidence obtained. So those are the ideas that are involved in a reasonable assurance engagement. Then we have a limited assurance. This one is less than a reasonable assurance. The limited assurance is less than the reasonable assurance. So they are saying is less than a reasonable assurance that engagement risk has been reduced to an acceptable level, which is then allows the conclusion to be expressed negatively. So a negative assurance is when an auditor gives an assurance that nothing has come to the attention which indicates that the financial statement has not been prepared according to the framework. In other words, he gives his assurance in the absence of any evidence to the contrary. What are we saying? In most cases, auditors make sure they find a problem. That's what they are talking about. That's why we're talking of limited assurance. You get it? Yeah. Yvonne? My audit is in terms of I'm a problem. Because they want to go and write and give you confidence to other people. But when they have not found anything, that's where we are talking. You get the point? Good. So a limited assurance engagement, an understanding of underlying subject matter and other engagement circumstances and aligning areas where material misstatement of the subject matter informed is likely to arise. This is exactly what we have written earlier on. So why are we talking about it? We're talking that this one is a limited one. That despite that it needs all those that we wrote, but he has not found any reason or any thing that he is going to talk about. Engagement ni pamene amapita, okay? Amapita kuti akaone kuti vuto limene tizaonemo. You get the one? But now we are talking of a limited one that we are talking about. So expectations gap, there is much conclusion in the investigating public's mind about the true nature of assurance that service providers express in their reports. This is often because users are not aware of the nature of the limitation and audit provision or do not understand them and believe that the assurance provider is offering a service such as the guarantee of correctness, which is the fact he is not. We are talking about the gap that is there between the auditor and the public. We are talking that if we to audit, there are other limitations that are there that are not understood by our friends. So what do they talk about? They want us to give them a guarantee that this is exactly true. Why are we talking about this? We are talking about because of a limited engagement that we have talked about, that you have found nothing. How can it be? So there's that misunderstanding by other people to say, is it possible that they can't find a reason? So either you can find not a reason in the working paper or in the checking of problems that you want to find out, whether in the internal controls, the regulations, the procedures, and whatever you mentioned. So those are some of the things that we are talking about. So always when we are doing our work, we have to improve our assurance service provider performance, and not only that, educate the public what exactly we are telling them about what we have found out. So in summary, what we are saying is an assurance engagement is where one party is engaged to give an opinion on a piece of information that has been prepared by another party. An assurance has 5 major elements. These are relationship, subject matter, suitable criteria. I will give you the presentation over, and sufficient appropriate evidence in a written report. So the benefits of an assurance is independence, professional opinion, additional confidence to other users. So this is just in summary, because of what we were going through, I thought we just have to go over about the assurance engagement. So that's it about today. I think next time we just have to learn about this and these others. Any questions? Sasa nipangeze kibendera